Hold on, let me get the actual video going.
Twitch, what up? Oh, we got 4 viewers on Twitch.
We got 4 now? And we're about to go live too, so this is about to be the actual podcast. So if you guys are tuning in, stay here. Alright. Episode 96, 100 podcast. I brought in DJ Boogs, my homie all the way from high school. He was talking I had him in the last podcast, or I had him a while back, and he's talking about being a DJ, kind of just like what started it was during pandemic, right? You just kind of just started. Pandemic, it's just something to do, kind of, and you kind of just were enjoying yourself, and it was just a hobby. And now I've seen you fucking work at, what is it, Bubba's?
Yeah, Bubba's.
I've seen you at all kinds of different parties, pool parties. Like, what made you take that extra step? Like, what made you get to that point where you're basically you're a professional DJ?
Yeah. Say Bubba's. Bubba's kind of started everything. Once Bubba's came, and then we started to gain like a big following, it just like took off from there. And then now people are hitting us up all the time to come party and DJ and shit like that. So I don't know, man. It's crazy how it happened. I mean, I was talking about it earlier. Like where we've gone in the last year or less than a year, like it's just been crazy. Like,
yeah.
But it's really all my friends, bro. Like all my friends really like keep pushing me to keep going, and I just got the right group of friends around me. So shout out all of you guys. If you guys are watching this, thank you guys. I mean, I thank them all the time, bro, because without them, like, it's literally nothing.
It's crazy, man. I wish I could remember exactly when you were on the podcast last, because you were like, I don't know, I feel like you just did like your first party or something.
Yeah, we just did Tony's party. Shout out Tony, by the way, my brother. Yeah, we had just did his first party, and then that was kind of like the confidence booster, because we came on here like right after that, and then after that is when shit just took off, bro.
What have you learned since that first, like, I don't know, like professional gig at Bubba's? Like what'd you learn as a DJ?
Shit, I learned that.
Or even as a businessman, bro, because that's like, at this point, it's a job, right? You're getting paid.
Yeah, I mean, as a businessman, you just learn to, like, how do I say it? Because it's complicated. It's just, you gotta do what you want to do and move your own way, because you have all these other like promoters and all these other managers and shit like that try to get you to do shit a certain way, and that's not my style. I like to do shit my own way. I have my own style, and if it doesn't fit or it doesn't match, I'm not gonna go. I've had to turn down events that I know aren't gonna fit for me, and so I just don't really fuck with that, bro. That's kind of been the good thing about all this shit, is that I got a good crowd around me and good people on my shoulders, to where I don't have to force anything, and if I don't want something, then I don't have to do it. So it's been good, because at the end of the day, I don't feel like I owe anybody shit. You know, I did it by myself, and yeah, there's a couple people that have helped me out, but for the most part, gigs and shit, like, that's just people networking and stuff. So it's been cool, man. It's been fun. Like that feeling of not owing anybody anything.
Yeah,
you know, like sometimes you get a job or you do something where someone helps you and you kind of feel like, fuck, like I owe them this. I don't feel that way. Like, I'm chill, bro.
You're doing like,
my own thing.
It's all on you.
Yeah. So it's been fun, bro. And then just our following, we have a good group. We have a solid group of like 30 people. So anywhere we go, it's always super like packed with our friends. And people see that, so it's just a matter of time.
What has been your, I don't know, have you had any like eye-opening moments, or you're up there on the stage and you're just like in the back of your head like, damn, I can't believe I'm here?
When I did the Renaissance for Memorial Weekend, it was a pool party right here down the street, and that's a high-end like top place. So I think it was towards the end of my set on Sunday, because I did Saturday, Sunday. The end of my set Sunday, low-key, I got super emotional, just because you look from where I started in a backyard to now at a pool with fucking 300 plus people, and they're just, you know, their energy, they're dancing, they're singing, they're, you know, congratulating you and shit. And there was a moment at the end where I just, like, I just had to sit there and soak all that shit in, because I know that opportunity doesn't come to a lot of people. So the fact that I got to do it was definitely
How do you keep from the butterflies, bro? Like that would seem so nerve wracking. I don't really get nervous in front of, like, talking in front of a camera, obviously, but talking on a stage is like in front of people, bro. I remember, like, school, for example, when I was in college, man. I'd sit there and say something in front of the class, bro, and I'd be like shaking, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so how are you sitting up there fucking doing a whole DJ set and just not giving a fuck, you know? Like, just enjoying yourself without.
I don't know, man. Honestly, for me, I get nervous, but like I said, I have good people in my side to where they kind of relax me, and I've been there before, I've done it, and so there's nothing for me to really be worried about. And that's my biggest thing, is I always stress about putting on the best set when it's just gonna come naturally. You know, the people make you feel a certain type of way, so you don't worry about anything else. But then I started drinking, and then that shit is cake after that.
Yeah.
After a beer or two, I'm solid.
You're not even fucking.
No, I'm not even paying attention to nobody else.
You're just in the
just
zone, bro.
Yeah. Not at the hotel. The hotel is different because I was there for like 5 hours, so I had to, I wasn't gonna do that there. But different events and shit, I for sure drink, and it takes the butterflies away.
Yeah.
I just feel like free.
You got any like big plans for or goals for your DJ career, bro? Because I feel like it turned from a hobby to now it seems like it's like, I don't know, like a full on like passion project. Like you're fully committed to it. Like, what do you have any goals with it? Long term goals?
I think one of my goals is to definitely get into Coachella, Splash House, or one of those events, or even an after party. I think that's my goal, is to try to get to something like that. And
what are the steps to getting there?
it's just who you know.
That's
Who you know. And you know people who like genuinely fuck with you and they believe in you, and it just takes opportunities. Because there's opportunities I've done that I couldn't do for whatever reason, that I feel like don't come to a lot of people, but just due to other events and shit like that I commit to, it's kind of hard. That's one thing about me. I don't like to book something and then cancel and then go to something else. Like, if I give you my word, like, that's where I'm at. So even if a better opportunity comes up, I'm a loyal dude, so sometimes I gotta just bite that bullet, and hopefully that chance comes again. I mean, that's with life in general, man. Things circle around, so what's meant to be is meant to be.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta kind of just stay on your path and let whatever hits your path just kind of.
For sure. Yeah, like, you just gotta stay in your own zone, man. Me, I don't get out of my lane. I stay in my own lane, and like I said, I do my own thing, so I don't worry about what anybody's saying. I don't worry about what anybody's doing. And when you do shit that way, I don't see competition. I just do shit my own way. There's a lot of good DJs out here. I've met a lot of good DJs. So
do you feel like any DJs out here or that you've met view it more as a competition? More?
I think everyone does. I think all these DJs, but the thing for me is DJ is not my life, so I have a life outside of that. So I don't depend on DJing. I know there's a lot of people that do. So for me, I can just literally have fun because that's all that I'm doing. You know, music has always been my escape from shit. So once I get to music, I'm just in a different world. But I'm not in a different world of like, I gotta be better than him, or I gotta be better than him. I want to be good for myself and for, the people that are on my side.
Yeah. So what's another huge part? Is coaching basketball a huge part of your life?
It is, but I think DJ's kind of taken over that. So I don't coach anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no more coaching for me. Just straight DJing, man, music.
What made you decide that? Just the DJing just started taking off?
Started taking off, and then just the time that you have to put into it. It's a lot of work, a lot of music, a lot of fucking around with different shit. And for me, I mean, one big thing for me is I've expanded music-wise in the sense of now I can play anything. I'm not just straight hip-hop or Spanish. We can go to EDM, we can do house music, we can do all types of shit.
Yeah.
And so that takes time, though. not something that you get like that. So for me, I want to master it. So I put a lot of time and effort into it. So there's no time for coaching no more. Man.
How do you make a name for yourself as a DJ? Like, I don't really understand. Like, do you drop your own albums? Like, what? How does that work? Like, how do you get yourself out there? Is it just like put on a show?
You just put on a show.
Be entertaining and
put on a show and entertain people. And like for me, anywhere I've gone, we've always had a really big crowd. So like I said, our following is good. So when people see like, oh shit, this DJ's coming in with 15, 20 people, there's obviously a hype about it. So that's the thing is you gotta stay. You have to have the right people to hype you up and get you to that place. Because to be honest, bro, I get invited almost every weekend to go to a club and just turn up with my friends. Like, hey, we got you in, free entry, don't wait in line, like, we got you, type shit. But it's because they see the people, they see that I'm with 15, 20 heads. So when you got that, now they're thinking about it money-wise. Now these people are going to buy a bottle, 2 bottles, buy drinks. Now I'm making, almost $1,000 just off of this group right here.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how they do it. I know how they do it, but I like to party, so.
Well, exactly. The whole thing is just get the people in there, that are gonna be willing to have a good time.
Yeah. That's what it's about.
They don't want to bring the cheap asses in there, but they're gonna.
And they don't want people that have 5 or 6 people. They want people with followers, like people with a crowd, because that's ultimately their job is to get people in there to sell drinks and to make money.
So when you're going in for a show, right, bro? Like, do you already have like a playlist in mind, like that you're gonna play, like, or do you kind of see the crowd when you get there and kind of like gauge it off of what you see and what you kind of think they're gonna do?
A little bit of both, because I've done shit at Bubba's where it's just straight like Latin night, so I try to keep it Latin. I've done parties where they want straight hip hop and ratchet shit, so I keep it like that, but. One thing I learned about music is you can't stay on the same genre forever. You have to switch it up, because at some point
people get bored
and everything starts to become like a robot. You start doing the same shit and people don't like that. Energies. You gotta switch the energy, switch the tempo. So definitely for a Latin night, I try to prepare for Latin, but I know that they don't want to hear Latin. There's only so many Latin songs, so when you have multiple DJs, it gets kind of crazy, because they're playing shit that you want to play or vice versa. So you have to try to you gotta try to switch it up. That's why I stay in my own lane, bro. Like, I got what I want to play in mind, and I usually roll off of that, and I'll fuck around with shit and just go based off of people on what they're doing and how they're feeling. And if I feel like something's not good, then we're out of that and onto something new.
You ever have any hecklers? You ever have anybody? You ever have anybody fuck with you, bro?
The Renaissance.
What's up, bro?
The Renaissance for sure, bro, because that one was
really?
Probably the most challenging.
Too many faded, huh? Faded people?
Yeah, but with those, it's hard because those people understand. So when you do something like the Renaissance, you have 300 plus people. Not all those people like the same music.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's kids there, so you can't.
You're like trying to juggle it.
Yeah, so you're trying to juggle that, and instead of, there's appreciative people, but instead of those that like are coming at me like, let me see what happened. Someone came up to me and was like, I feel like I'm at like a kid's birthday party, and I'm like, that's not my fault, though. I can't play.
I don't want to cuss it all crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
And shit, bro.
So it gets hard, man. Like with something like that, so they'll be talking shit, and I'll try to switch it up and stuff. But then you have the kids and the families who get mad, like, I don't want to listen to this. Like, my son's here, blah blah blah. So you definitely have to try to find a balance. That was hard as fuck, though.
Should people have their kids there at that moment?
Because it's a family hotel.
It's a more like,
I feel like everyone has to be understanding that there's not just grown adults. You also have elderly there. You don't just have elderly, you have kids there. You don't just have kids, you have teenagers. So you literally have people from different ages, and I feel like you just have to
be respectful.
Yeah, of what's going on. Because if I could, I would obviously play certain shit, but I have to be respectful of kids. I have kids. So
Yeah,
I don't,
exactly.
I have a 4-year-old. I don't want her listening to lick this, touch that, suck this. That's just not.
Yeah, I'd be
not
pissed,
fair.
bro. I'd probably be mad too. I'd be the same.
Exactly.
As a parent, I'd be like, yeah, what the fuck.
But then you have people like wanting to play like 70s and 80s music, like Frank Sinatra, and then
Whoa.
they don't understand. Like these other people don't want to listen to that, and it just. It's a mess, bro. It gets
So
hard.
are you just trying to give everybody a little bit? Like,
Yeah, that's what I would do. Is I'll play a little bit of hip hop, then I'd go to like Spanish music, and then I'd go to like some oldies type shit. So just really trying to play everything. But then again, another thing people don't understand is I'm there for 5 hours. How much music can you really play in 5 hours?
Oh my god, bro!
Like, just think about how much music you have to do. It's
you
hot.
had a DJ for 5 hours straight?
Yeah. Back to back. One weekend I did 6 hours. The next weekend I did 5. Saturday and Sunday. So then even think about that. You just DJ 5 hours one day, come back the next day. You probably got most of the same crowd. Now you're playing shit you played yesterday, so you have to switch that up. It's hard.
Well, it's like 10 hours of music. Like,
Yeah.
how much music can I like?
That's what I say. It's
That
like,
people like.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm. What do you want me to play, bro? Like I'm gonna start getting a Disney song.
like, and I'm sure people would dicks on here and be like, "Oh, I got 10 hours of music," but you understand you can't play what you would normally play.
And you gotta have
playlist.
10. Yeah, and you gotta have 10 hours of music like off the top of your head,
off
bro.
the top of the head, yeah.
And you gotta mix
And it has to be clean. It has to be edited. Like you can't play nothing with cuss words. So you think of all these songs that are cuss words. If you can't find it clean, you're fucked. And then on top of that, like you could play clean music, but for instance, you play "Back That Ass Up," it'll cuss out "back that shit up" or whatever. But people aren't stupid. They know what word goes in there. So then you have those assholes that are like,
Sing
"Oh,
it?
I know what goes in this word." Like, So it's just a mixture, bro. But that's probably one thing for sure is people. There was a lot of appreciative people, but there are some dickheads in there for sure. So
That's just in life.
it's
bro.
just anywhere, bro. Anything you do, there's always gonna be someone that doesn't like it. So you just stay in there, keep it pushing, and go have a beer.
Have you ever performed out of the Valley, like in LA? And
LA.
How is that, bro? Is it? Have you had any sketchy moments when you're out in?
Nah, the biggest thing with going out of town is it's a different vibe. So things that crack and get good out here, music wise, is not the same that is good over there. So we did a party in Riverside, and for them, a lot of the newer hip hop wasn't the move. It was a lot of the older hip hop. So like early 2000s. So Nelly, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Tupac. They wanted all that shit, like throw it back.
2000 Party House. Yeah,
so the new shit, Pop Smoke and all that stuff, they didn't really care for it. And then they're big, Hispanic, so they want a lot of salsa, they want a lot of cumbias, they want a lot of reggaeton, they want different type of shit. So it's just a different vibe, bro, when you go to different places, to be honest.
And when you're going to charge, like, for anybody, I guess, an artist or whatever, like a musician, how are you charging, bro? Are you charging hourly? Or are you charging just for the event, like in general? Like I'm just.
It usually goes by the event. I mean, I try to like people that I know. I try to hook up, or people who are trying to. I get a lot of people who try to throw stuff for their families, like their moms or their dads, or like a big birthday party. 25, 30, one of those milestones. And for me, I remember as a kid. Like, I wanted a DJ when I was 21, but you don't have money to really get a DJ. So, for me, it's just about working shit out and making sure that they get to have fun with their family. So, I don't...
You're not too crazy about
I'm not, charging people up the ass and trying to just make $1. Like, I put all that shit into consideration. So, just depending off the event.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of events that I don't do. Like quinceañeras.
Events I don't do.
Yeah, bro. Weddings I try to stay away from. No disrespect, but that's just not my.
You just stay away from because it's just not your vibe.
It's not my vibe. Like it's not my. The energy's not for me.
I just know when I was doing photography a lot, I stayed away from weddings mainly because I just didn't want to fuck up their wedding, bro. I didn't want to be like the reason their wedding wasn't perfect, like. That's why I never did those. I feel like it was too serious.
Yeah.
Too
Well, because a
serious,
wedding, bro, like that's someone's that's someone's memory. Like that's one of the greatest moments they've had in their life. So you do something like that and fuck it up. You're an asshole.
Yeah, that's
and it's
true.
not saying that I will fuck it up, but you got family there. You have uncles, nieces, cousins. You know, you have older generations there. And
Yeah.
And
you gotta
it's
like
more
go
of a-
straight edge, more straight edge.
it's more of like a respecting. You know, it's hard to explain, but it's
No,
more
I
of a
get it.
respecting. Bro. I try to stay away from those. I'll go to a wedding, but I DJ and I try to stay away from those. Quinceañeras are the same way. I try
Yeah.
to stay away.
Do you feel like there's any like comparison with basketball, like the adrenaline and like when you're DJing, like the same, like do you feel any like, especially like football, bro, like for example, like, you know, you get that adrenaline rush when you're out there running out to the field, or you're you know do you get that adrenaline rush when you're DJing like the same way as like in a sport, like do you feel that at all?
I do, because when I DJ places, parties, or events, I have a certain crowd that goes or that hits me up the day of or the day before. So just having them going out there, especially those that never see me DJ before, it gets me like, damn, I'm trying to make an impression. You know, like, I'm trying to show them what I can do. Because there's been events that I've DJ'd where promoters and owners from other clubs and other bars are there, and I can see it. I mean, obviously I'm paying attention, and it gets you going a little bit. Like, it makes you want to...
Yeah, like when the people are fucking vibing or whatever,
exactly.
like, are you fucking, like, I don't know, bro, like when you're making a game-winning shot or something, like, is there any comparison?
Yeah, it's the energy. Like, you just get, like, that adrenaline rush, like, that kicker kicks in, and, like, oh, shit, you know, like, this place is, like, going crazy.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same thing when you hit a game winner, the crowd's, like, you know, going crazy for you, and it's the same thing with that. Like, that shit don't change.
That's some of the wildest shit to me, is like people that have never played a sport really, you know?
Yeah.
Like, never even like, and sometimes it's not even their fault, honestly. It's like they just never got pushed into it, like into sports, and just never really like worked into their path. But man, I feel like sports there can be like so much in them, not just sport wise, life wise.
You get a lot of shit out of there. But DJing, or like even what you're doing, is a sport, because when you play a sport, you have to weight lift, you have to condition, you gotta, you know, train, all this other shit, and that's pretty much what we do behind the cameras or behind events.
Yeah.
We're prepping, we're questions, we're cameras, all this other shit. It's kind of the same thing. It's just your attention goes in a different direction. So that's kind of been the cool thing about DJing, is like people see the parties and this and that, but they don't see everything else that goes into it. You know, like I'm usually in my room working on shit for, you know, 4 or 5 hours a day, because I got a little studio in there. So just messing with different music, and you know, we go out and shit, and people think like, oh, he's just coming off, you know, the top of his head, and he's just bullshitting. But that's really not what it is, bro. It's a lot of time.
It's a lot of preparation behind the scenes.
A lot.
Yeah, man. That's what's crazy, is being an artist or being a creative, or even being just like a business owner, or just working for yourself, is like there's so much work behind the scenes, bro. People don't see none of it, man. And then like, I hate that people act like you're not even working if you're working for yourself. It's
no,
like,
exactly.
Bro, I'm grinding, bro. I'm grinding, and it's getting like half the time I'm not getting paid for this grind, you know?
No, exactly.
I don't get an hourly wage.
Or sometimes you don't get paid what you feel you should get paid.
Yeah.
But that's just, like I said, that's just when you start thinking about everything and you start like stepping outside of your lane. That's when those type of shits come in, and then you start thinking, I should be getting paid as much as this guy, or I should be here, he shouldn't be here. Like, you start thinking about that stuff, and it takes you away from what you love, because then it becomes like a hate game, and that's really not what it is. Like, I feel like, and I know I should be other places or in the desert, but those opportunities haven't come yet. But I know they will come. It's just a matter of time, because
you just gotta enjoy the journey you're on.
Yeah.
Cause and sometimes getting, like, even my podcast, but sometimes I feel like so focused on like getting paid, you know. And like I said, in reality, it's like if you enjoy just doing it, like, just just enjoy doing
No,
it. You know?
gotta,
They don't get there.
You gotta enjoy everything, man. Like what I've learned with music is like if you enjoy it and you do shit the right way, the right people come around and the right opportunities come around. You try to bullshit things and try to lie and try to be someone quote unquote you're not. You end up with these fucked up people and these bullshit opportunities to where it's not for you because you not that person, you know. So for me, I just do my own thing and do what I want. So I don't.
Have you ever ran into one of those where you almost somebody almost tried to take advantage of you or something?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Because like I said, my following is big. I know DJs have their own following, but for me, a lot of my people come from basketball. So people that fuck with me with basketball or as a person now fuck with me as a DJ because I'm still the same person. Like shit doesn't change.
Yeah.
I'm still me. So my following has been like very, very big, and it's only gotten bigger in less than a year. Like I feel like we've met so many new people from everywhere, bro. Like out of town, here, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Like it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
So but it's just energy wise. They see.
Would you ever be willing to take a DJ tour, bro? Like take a tour around the US,
that shit would be dope.
Like some Diplo type shit.
Yeah, I would for sure. But,
yeah.
And I know shit like that will come. It takes time. Nothing good comes quick. So I understand the journey. I understand the process, and know that it's going to get there. But first, I got to handle my shit out here and make sure that I'm good out here.
What do you do to stay grounded, man? What do you do to keep from letting like the haters and all the outside noise and all that shit get to you, bro? Because whenever anybody's doing something on their own, like doing like especially like being a DJ, whatever, bro. Especially when you're putting yourself out there like that, bro. There's a lot of people that hate that shit. A lot of people that are just like that because they're not willing to do it.
Yeah.
You know, so they're like, they don't want to see you do that. They don't want to see you like, damn, this fool's really fucking out here. Like, we're putting himself 100% out there.
Yeah.
Like, how do you keep yourself from getting bothered by those people?
Stay in my own lane.
Stay in my own lane, bro. That's it.
I do my own thing.
You're like, I just chill, bro. I'm not
for real, to be honest with you, like, I keep the same group around me. I keep the same friends. So for me, like, I'm focused. I'm in my room. I'm working on shit. I mean, obviously, I post stuff, and people aren't always going to like what I post, or they're not going to agree with what I say. But again, that's just with anything in life. But for me, I don't pay attention to it. And if there is a hater or somebody, I don't
it's
care.
Like whatever.
It's whatever to me. Like, I played basketball. I already know what that shit's like. You know, people don't like you, they don't like you, but it's part of life.
Exactly. Yeah, you just kind of keep. Who cares? Really?
Yeah, who cares? There's 100 other people that like you. Or for me, I have my group, and that's all that I care about. If they fucking my shit, they fucking my shit. Anybody else, it is what it is. Because at the end of the day, like, these people are gonna be here for me no matter what, and these other people, they come and go.
Yeah.
You know, they're people. They're not meant for you. They're not meant. I mean, me and you, for instance, we've been together for what? Like almost 10 years, more than 10 years.
Oh, it's definitely been cool since, I don't know, bro.
Yeah, like high school.
Yeah.
So it's been a minute. Like, you know who's cool and you know who's not. So for me, I don't pay attention to that shit, bro. I got my own shit going on. I got a family.
I think you've been on my podcast even before you were a DJ.
Probably like right before I was.
Yeah, I think you were, because you were talking about basketball. I'm talking about like you're basically going pro, weren't you, in Mexico?
Doing all my shit.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because even then, like, people don't know the backstory, so they're like, oh, he's just some DJ, but it's a whole nother life before that with basketball. Like, Mexico and college and high school, like, it literally is like two different lives, which still trips me out.
That's, I just had Kenyon on, obviously, and what was the process like for you, like, getting out of sports, like out of basketball, bro? Like was it hard?
Oh, dude, that was probably like one of the hardest things I had to do in my life was get rid of basketball. But I will say that that's probably the greatest thing that I could have ever done, because I know with basketball it was taking me away from my family and kids and stuff. So when you hit a certain age, you start to understand what's important and what's not, and what's gonna come and go. And your kids from a young age, those are moments you don't want to miss because you don't get those moments back. You know what I'm saying? Like kid walking, your child, crawling. Those are moments that are priceless, man. That you don't ever get to get again unless you have another kid. But then by that,
it's wild, man. They go one time. Those moments.
It's like for me that is what was important. And looking back on it, it hurts and it sucks. But I would do the same shit I'm doing now over and over again. Like, I don't regret anything. These kids are the greatest thing that have happened. So I'm good, man, and I'm glad that I get to be here for them. It's different.
Yeah.
It's different. Basketball, for sure, I would have been away from him.
Yeah, your priorities would have not been the kids,
obviously. It would have been
so.
basketball. Because basketball takes up a lot of time, man. You're traveling, you're practicing, you're playing, you're lifting, you're on the road and all that shit. At least with DJing, I have I can work from home.
That's something I've never... it's been so hard for me to understand how people just stay away from their kids. I'm just like, I being a dad and being even like a young father, bro, like that is definitely not a perfect dad. It's so hard for me to comprehend the people that just have no problem, just even the people that have made it, like the people that are these rich motherfuckers. Like a lot of the times they like neglected their families to get there, and it's fucking wild to me. Like I don't know, man. The shit people would do, like I don't.
It's crazy. And for me, like I try to DJ maybe 2 times a month, just so that way I have enough time to spend with the kids, or if I want to go out and party, like I have a balance. I'm not just DJing all the time. So I try to 2 weekends out of the month maybe is what I try to get at. Yeah. And then after that, it's just family time.
Do you have a 9 to 5 as well?
Yeah, I do. I work in the medical field. So, literally from doing that to being a dad, my daughter plays softball, so going to softball and then still trying to find time for music and stuff, it's weird. It's like 3 different, fucking dimensions that you're in because you're an employee and then now you're a dad. Now you have to, take care of all that shit. And then now your personal life, which is music or the gym or friends or going out, and it's just, you have to find that balance between those things because you're literally jumping from thing to thing to thing.
Would you ever get rid of the 9 to 5 if DJing just kept going, or
if DJ kept going?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. The cool thing about me, and I've always talked about it, is I don't ever change as a person. So for me, my 9 to 5 in healthcare, I get to help people. So for me, with DJing and getting to help families and getting to help people plan these exciting parties and shit, for me is a bonus because I like to see people happy.
That's a great point, man, because I remember when I would do videos for people's parties and shit, bro, it'd be pretty cool. I'd feel good inside when you'd see the finished product and they'd see it
exactly.
and they're like, what?
And they thank you. There's a thank you is a thank you, but just the emotion behind it hits you a little bit harder.
You can tell it really matters to them.
Exactly. Yeah. So for me, being able to help elderly and then helping families or helping people just have a good night, for me, it's a fucking win-win. I get to do what I love all day. There's nothing that
It's a great, man. Yeah, that's a great point, bro. And that's something that a lot of people, I think, miss is, they're so focused on just making money today. And instead, you should kind of focus on the things you love doing.
Exactly.
And maybe not try to get rich quick, if you love doing it, you really shouldn't be so worried about the money, if it's paying the bills, if you're able to do what you want to do, bro, it should be fine, man. I think people are so focused on the retirement, live on the beach, fucking drink the margaritas, bro. That shit would get boring after about a week, bro.
Yeah, and I mean, everyone lives their life the way that they do. For me,
they want to do it. They do it the way they want to do it.
I mean, you can't tell somebody how to do it, so I try to stay away from that. But like I said, I have good people on my shoulders, so I know money comes and goes. Money's not here forever.
How do you feel about United States life in general? Are you nervous about your daughters growing up? Do you What do you think about it? You think it'll be whatever? It's just life. Like people figure it out.
I think the biggest thing that I'm worried about for the kids.
Oh, we got 5 in the house though. Shout out. Let's
Shout
go.
out Twitch. I think the biggest thing that I'm afraid of for my kids is just like all those school shootings. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like for me, if it was up to me, I'd keep my kids out of school. Just because there's no, once that shit happens and someone loses a kid or they shoot up a school, there's no going back. That's
Yeah.
your kid's gone forever. There's no like, should have did this, should have did that. So that's been my biggest fear.
That's the tough thing about people that love guns. Like the Second Amendment people is most of them obviously aren't experiencing losing their kid to that. Like school shootings, they've happened too many times in the United States, but they're still not often enough to where people feel like it's gonna happen to them. Like their kids are getting. I feel like that's why a lot of the gun people, a lot of the Second Amendment people aren't willing to compromise. They think it's like.
But to me, it's
in reality, a lot of what people are asking for is like just like mental health checks and shit like that, and like what up in your gun fucking age to 21. What do you think?
I think it's bigger than that. And for me, like you say like people don't really care because it don't happen to them, but it's like, why would you want it to get to that point to when it does happen to you?
That's exactly my point, though. Is like that's why they're saying it's not like that's why they don't want to talk about it really.
Yeah.
Is because it's not happening to them. I'm not saying that they're right in that. I'm just saying that that's how a lot of the Second Amendment and the right feel, is that it's not happening to them. They haven't experienced it, so it's kind of tough for them to really feel that gun violence, and feel like, bro, if you lost your child to somebody shooting your kid, bro, I'm pretty sure you'd be trying to get rid of all guns,
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people that I fucking own a gun, so like I'm definitely on that side where I feel like people should have the opportunity to own a gun, but I think there should be a lot more going into it, like a longer process to get one, you shouldn't be able to fucking pay for it and get it that day and shit,
Yeah, and I don't like the whole Second Amendment stuff and gun stuff. I don't really get into because people have their own views, and people again are going to do what they're going to do anyways. But it just comes to a point where it's not about you; it's about everyone else. And I don't think that it's the fact that people are buying guns. I think it's the type of guns that these people have.
Yeah,
these people have guns that are in the fucking military that regular people like me and you shouldn't be able to get. Like, we're not military people. We're just some regular ass motherfucking humans. Like, we don't have no experience with a fucking AK-47 or anything like that. So when you have people with those types of guns, to me that shit is just different, bro. Like, you can have it, but at the same time, like, and I know not everyone's bad people. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know people have good intentions, so I'm not. That's why it's hard to talk about shit like that, because I don't want to offend anybody. Yeah, it's just the way that I feel. I just don't feel that people.
No, it's just a tough subject, and a lot of people aren't willing to talk about it. And I think that's the problem. Is most people aren't open minded.
It's because you're not gonna get nowhere. You're gonna have a bunch of people that are gonna
put
agree with
down.
you, and then you're gonna have people that don't agree with you.
Yeah.
And what do you get out of that? You just start to create more of a tension and more of a division.
What's crazy, man, is I feel like the more social media took off, the more everybody got into the internet, bro, the more people just got on sides,
Yeah,
and
just
that's picked a group.
That's what it feels like. It feels like you're on, like, you picking a side, and if you're not on the other side, you don't matter to them.
Yeah.
And that's just the way, unfortunately, things are going right now.
When we all should just be fucking Americans,
We all should be civil.
And or just, if you want to just go down to, we all should just be humans.
Yeah.
And just be willing to help each other out no matter where you're from, no matter who you are, and just be willing to talk it out. Like, fuck, bro, it's kind of crazy that people act like the other side's the enemy when we're all just trying to...
Everyone wants to be right. Everyone wants to feel like they have some sort of power over somebody else. At the
That's
end of
the internet,
day,
though. The
yeah.
internet gave everybody false power, right?
Yeah.
It gave everybody a voice, and some people, like even the people that have the worst fucking opinions, bro. Everybody's got a voice now, and
Yeah.
everybody has a little bit of power.
And there's nothing wrong with people having their own voice. It's just how big someone saying some stupid shit can fucking actually make their shit. Like, it's just crazy.
It
how
could
it
take
actually
off on
yeah,
TikTok or
like some
shit.
dumbass thing, bro. But
that's hilarious.
yeah, nah, politics and shit like that is always hard. It's a hard subject because you're gonna feel one way, you're gonna feel one way, and it doesn't make either of you right or wrong.
Did
It's
you
just
grow
how
up? Did you grow up and it was like a thing where like people didn't talk about politics? Like where it was like that would be like one of the main things. Like people didn't talk about politics. People didn't talk about money.
To be honest, I didn't. I grew up like in the streets, so politics and was not even brought up to me.
Yeah.
I was just worried about basketball and my family and trying to do something bigger. So I honestly didn't start learning about politics until like 2020, 2019, and I was already like 25
when it was
years old,
just
26. Yeah.
trendy, basically. When
Yeah,
it got
because
trendy.
the whole thing with Trump happened and kind of forced people to wake up a little bit. So that's when I started, at least.
What do you think they especially because you got daughters, you got kids. What do you think? Where do you think the educational system's slacking? Like where do you think they could teach people better, or like a subject that isn't getting taught right now in school that should get taught to kids growing up? Kind of a random question, but I just feel like, because me personally, I think the educational system is built to make people just be good workers and just kind of like, you just kind of like be quiet, you just kind of like do your thing.
I mean,
listen.
For me, like what I've seen a lot lately is a lot of racism. A lot of racism, a lot of hate, and a lot of like not life shit, like things that go on in real life. And because of that, I feel like we're in the place that we're in now. Like, I mean, you think about it all the time. People like me or you or African Americans, Asian, you get racially profiled a lot. And it's happened to me, it's happened to family members, and that's not a way that people should be living. People shouldn't be living worried about what's going to happen. And so I think that needs to be a big thing for sure, because I'm colored, my kids are colored, and there's no changing that, you know? We're all just people, we're all humans, bro. So to me, that's probably a big thing, because I don't want my kids growing, I know it might happen regardless, but I don't want my kids growing up in a hateful world due to color. And that's just...
Do you think, obviously there's racism out there, and obviously there's racists and all that shit, but do you think that is pushed a little extra by the media? Like, do you think, like, the division, and, like, obviously if you see a cop fucking unloading, like, 50 rounds on somebody, that seems a little fucking off. But, like, just in general, like even... I don't know, bro. If you even go back to that kid that was wearing that Trump hat, that wasn't doing anything when it comes down to it. He was pushed as this racist kid who was like fucking with these Native Americans or whatever, and in reality he didn't even do anything. And then CBS or whatever had to pay him because of defamation or whatever, the big old lawsuit. So like, just media in general, do you think it's pushing division in the country?
Well, that's how media gets paid. Media gets paid by posting stuff
the negative,
like that.
right?
Yeah, and just making people watch. And like I said,
and that doesn't take away from racism. Obviously, bro, there's fucking racism.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it goes both ways, you know. Like, there's people that don't do anything that get portrayed to be something they're not, and you have things that go on that doesn't get enough attention that should be getting attention. And you think about it right now, like, I'll just use this as an example, like the whole cops killing people and shit like that. Like, I feel like that shit's been happening for a minute. It's just no one's ever recorded it or brought it up. So I think now that it's happening, people are kind of like, oh, it's the media or it's this or that. It's a false narrative. But when you're there,
I don't think the cop shit is the fault, bro. When I see the body cam videos,
that's
bro,
what I'm
I'm
saying. Like,
it makes me feel sick, dude.
Yeah.
Because I grew up like, bro, like cops are good people.
Yeah,
you know?
no, and
like,
there's a lot of good cops. Like, don't get me wrong, my uncle's a cop.
No,
you know, I got
yeah.
people in the military, so I don't think that all cops are bad cops. But it's just like in anything in life, any profession, you have people that overdo shit. You have people that fuck up, and
you just got bad people in
you
general.
just have bad people in general, exactly. But
that shit makes me sick, though, man.
yeah,
that shit really does.
It's hard, man. Like some of those shits that you watch is just like, how can you sit here and unload on a man or kill somebody for no fucking reason?
I was talking to my lady, bro, and I was just like, why would you ever feel the need to unload a full clip?
It's power.
You know, like because even if you do shoot at somebody, like obviously, like sometimes there's points when you have to, but are you ever really wanting to kill that person? Like if you're like trying to protect and serve, and your whole goal is to be the good guy, are you really trying to unload a full clip on a human? Like that's where it just doesn't make sense. That's where it completely loses me, bro. No matter what the person did or what they got, like you unloaded a full clip. Like you clearly wanted to kill them. Like there was no other option in your head. Like that's where I'm lost, man. That's where I'm lost.
It's crazy, man. It's like I said, power. People with power gets to their head, and you feel invincible, and you feel like you can do this and you can do that, and ultimately, that's why we are, put in these situations. It's power. People who didn't have power growing up are now in charge of shit, and you can't tell him anything. Like, cop stops me, I can't tell him what to do.
Exactly.
He to tell me what to do.
Yeah, and that's the toughest shit, bro. You almost gotta just like listen.
Yeah.
And if he is wrong, you gotta still listen.
Yep.
Until you can go to court about it later. You know?
Exactly. And that probably still won't even matter.
Yeah,
it is what it is, man. But that's just life in general. It is what it is, and there's a lot of things that are out of our control. There's things we can control, but there's a lot of things we can't control. And as soon as you can accept that, you get away from the bullshit.
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
You just stay focused on the shit you can control.
Yeah.
That's such a big thing, because if you're worried about everything you can't even do anything about, then bro, you're just gonna
it eats you up, and you get worked up over nothing. Like, I can get mad about it, but fuck, my opinion don't matter. It might matter to a couple people, but it's not gonna change the world. So it just people just gotta step up and do shit the right way. That's what I feel. Like I said, I don't get into politics because that's for sure a sensitive subject to a lot of people, and I don't. You feel the way you feel, and I feel the way I feel, and we keep it moving.
Yeah.
There's no I don't hate you, I don't disagree with you, it's nothing like that. You have a conversation, we see eye to eye, we do. If not, then cool.
I don't. Yeah, and I feel like politics and all that shit just took over the whole. I don't know. It's not even that interesting to me at this point. Like it got too much, bro. I would rather be no show. I'd rather there be no Biden show, no Hillary Clinton show, no Trump show.
Yeah.
I'd rather it just be like people just trying to help out the country.
That's what I feel. And even presidents, I feel like now it's become a bigger thing. Like, pick a side.
Yeah.
And to be honest,
it's almost became a celebrity thing now too. It's like celebrities.
It's crazy because it's never been like that.
Yeah, no.
Like, it's never, even even if a Democrat won or a Republican before Trump, it's never been like no crazy shit. Like, yeah, people get mad because their president didn't win, but it's never been to the point where it's at now. Like, you're either on this side or you're on this side.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a strong hate, man. People really like get mad about shit like that.
I'm honestly, bro, I'm fearful that we're like in the middle of a fall of an empire, like we're at the fall of a nation. Like, I think a lot of people don't have any pride in the United States really anymore. Yeah. Like you said before Trump, and just before like pandemic and all this crazy shit, just when everything kind of just became a show. Before all that, like everybody kind of felt like no matter who the president was, like we're just hoping for the best.
Yeah, you got along.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do, man. A president wins. It's not. I can't get mad about it. I can't go on social media and go on a rant. They're not gonna say, "All right, let's redo the election." Like it is what it is. You know?
I'm the last to talk about it. I don't even vote, bro.
And that's
I don't even vote, bro.
But that's a whole other conversation. People feel like because you don't vote, you shouldn't have a say so.
You shouldn't even talk about it.
Yeah, you shouldn't even talk about it.
Why are you talking?
Yeah, like you don't vote. That's fine. You didn't fucking vote. You still, have your view. You still have your opinions, and it is what it is. It don't matter.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Like people find anything to argue about, and to me, it's just like you feel the way you feel. That's cool. Like you have the right to have an opinion, whether you vote or not. Like, bro, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I don't, like I said, man, I try to stay away from all that shit and try to stay away from the news and stay away from all that shit, man. I mean, it just drains your energy. There ain't shit you can do about it.
It's all, yeah, man. That's what's crazy is I've heard Joe Rogan talk about that. Like you only got like a certain amount of energy, basically, like that you can use throughout the day. And if you're using it on this bullshit like cancel culture and you're arguing with somebody on Twitter or whatever, like you're gonna not have no time to even do anything for yourself.
Yeah, it's like what's the word? It's like a reoccurring issue. It's gonna still be there no matter what. So, like I said, I try not to get involved, man. I try to focus on what I gotta focus on.
Yeah, you're a producer, not a consumer. That's what you are, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I need to get off the consuming, bro. I need to get off the TikTok, off watching that shit. I just need to stay on the producing side, you know.
Shit's a lot easier for sure.
Yeah. It's good, man. TikTok though, bro, they got some funny ass videos on there.
TikTok trips me out, bro. Like you could literally be on that shit for hours.
Yeah. And you will never see the same video. Like
no.
You'll continue to see, and like you'll think, okay, this shit's boring, and then just a funny ass video will come up, bro, and you're laughing like crazy, man. Like
no, that's some crazy shit for sure. But that's TikTok for you.
Like right now, dude. What the fuck? Why aren't you pushing your TikTok, bro? Like honestly, you literally popped on there and you had like 200 people in your live. Like, I get why, but bro, it's a business. Like that's like
it is, bro. To be like
you're like pushing a brand, you know.
And to be honest, like this is part of the struggles of being a DJ is that not even a DJ, but just being someone who does shit by themselves is all that shit is very time consuming. So for me to be a DJ and record this and video that and then edit this and then post that and push this, it becomes hard.
Yeah.
Because I don't, you're trying to do too much.
Yeah.
So I get it. Like, yeah, I know I should be on Instagram a lot more. I do know I should be on TikTok a lot more. But these people that are on there, they have professional recorders. They have fucking people who edit their shit. They're making that investment, and it's a good investment to make. But it's like you have to find the right people that fuck with you and that do shit the right way.
Yeah.
And I do, but my guy that I usually work with, well, both of my guys, they're super busy, so it's hard to get them to do shit on the daily for me. They do their own shit. So.
Yeah, you almost would have to have like somebody right there with you
24/7. Yeah, or even a couple of days out of the week. But again, that's time consuming. And then you're going off of schedules, and I've thought about it though. And it would be fun and easy, but it's just finding that.
Do DJ? Look, I'm sure they do, but like, have you looked into, especially now that you're out there, bro, and like you're building towards something, like, have you looked into like any sort of like sponsorships or anything like that, like obviously, or partnerships or anything with
there's
any
some
brands
like
or
partnerships
anybody?
And stuff that we've been trying to get into, but like I said, I know what's meant to be is meant to be, and I know that doors and
You're
those
just not
opportunities.
fucking chasing anything.
I don't chase anything, bro. To be honest with you, like I don't even chase my liquor. Like I don't chase nothing, bro. I know when you put in work into something, that shit happens.
Yeah.
And that's just that's how I've always been, even with basketball, bro. If you put in the time and you put in the effort, things will happen. And
I definitely don't think you were the typical basketball player. You know, I don't think they looked at you and were like, this dude's a blue chip, bro.
it took a lot of time though, man. And like I said, I didn't cheat anything. I did shit the right way, and I kept good people around.
Yeah.
And so without that, I probably wouldn't have, basketball-wise, wouldn't have done what I did. But it just, your crowd, man, your energy is who you keep around you. And like I said, my group is solid. I mean, you come to parties, man. There ain't no fights. There ain't no drama. There ain't, there's nothing. Everyone gets along. Everyone talks to each other, and there's just none of that shit. We're all cool. We're just there.
That's a reoccurring theme, bro. That people keep talking about. I hear all the time. It's just the people you're around,
Yeah.
It's like the oldest, and it almost is like the dumbest thing to talk about is like peer pressure or whatever. But it's not even that. It's just like, if you're around people that are lazy, not doing shit, or like that, like people that are just like have an attitude and are always looking for a fight, like,
exactly.
Damn, you're gonna be always looking for a fight.
And you're just around it,
and you're gonna end up fighting somebody.
You're gonna end up being in a situation you don't want to be in.
And if you got people that are working, that are grinding, bro, you're just gonna be like, fuck, I gotta grind with these motherfuckers.
That's probably the best thing about our group is that everyone on there has their own goal and is doing their own thing. So it's not just the DJ, it's not just we're here for him, it's they, are doing their own thing. We have, our camera guys, Jacob and Tron and them, like, they're trying to get their shit going.
Yeah.
And then you
got Velo.
Yeah, we got Velo, obviously, the rapper.
Shit, Philip's on his way. He's in the academy right now, isn't he?
Yeah, we have you. I mean, you're doing your shit. Breezy, she just opened up a barber shop. My boy Matt, he just opened up his own barbershop. So we have people that, like, they're go-getters, bro. Like, they're gonna go, they're chasing their dreams, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's everybody. I mean, I missed a lot of people in our group, but there's just a lot of people that are so, like, let's get it, and we celebrate together. That's when I DJ. That's when we party. We're celebrating everybody's wins, man, because that's what it's about. So we click differently. We're not the typical party assholes. Like, we're really a group.
You guys, and it's just different because you guys know each other's grind. You know how hard it is to work for yourself, and especially like opening a barbershop, bro. Like, I don't have any idea on that, man. That's got to be a lot of fucking, because you got to know a lot of, like, money. You got to know, like, the paperwork aspect. You got to obviously know how to fucking cut people's hair. You got to bring people in.
You got to have the right barbers. You got to have the right clientele. There's a lot that goes
into bro, and at some point you're firing people and shit, like, it's like, that's crazy, bro.
So I commend them, man.
I commend
everybody. Anybody who's doing something, no matter what it is, I commend, bro, because that shit is a struggle. No matter what, you have the regular person working a 9 to 5 or, whatever it is. It's a grind, man. I think nowadays, if you don't have the cool job or the cool house or the cool car or the cool jewelry or the cool clothes, you're a nobody. And that's really not what it is. Because I know so many people out here, bro, that do what they gotta do, take care of them and their families, and at the end of the day, that's what matters.
Yeah.
Like, that's the biggest thing in life, is taking care of your family. And so, it's just crazy, because I go on Instagram and I see people all the time, like, I gotta go to work, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, but it's like, that's what you're gonna do unless you go do what you really want to do. And whatever you want to do is, you can do it. It just takes time. And like I said, people want to cheat that out. People want to cheat the hard work. They want to cheat everything that they don't see that we do. They don't want to go through that.
Yeah.
Everybody wants this, and it doesn't. Nothing works.
They want that instant gratification. They want it now, bro. They want that social media that fucking extra follower, whatever, bro. That just little,
like, that's
that little dopamine rush. Yeah.
It's crazy.
And it's all nothing, bro. Because what's crazy, man, is if the power went out, all your followers would be gone. Like, bro, all your Instagram followers, all that shit would be gone. Like, your social media, and a lot of people just built their life on it.
Yeah.
Like, they built their life not even really like communicating with real people or even like doing anything. They just built by, I don't know, bro.
And that's
Posting their fucking ass.
And that's
whatever,
crazy that you say that, because I used to get, like, what's the word? I'm not gonna say in trouble, but I used to get myself into situations with people that I didn't, like, I had nothing to do with. Like, it was literally just social media. So conversations or doing shit you shouldn't be doing or saying shit you shouldn't be saying or whatever. Like, you really do that shit for social media, like when there's nothing going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're really out here hyping somebody up or whatever it is over someone that you don't know.
Just like put on a show.
Yeah, someone, like, a girl posts a picture in her bathing suit or whatever it is, and guys are liking that shit up. How many of those guys really, like, talk to this person and know who they are? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're doing all this shit to try to get someone attention that is not going to give you that attention. You know, people post shit like that for attention, not to give it to you.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
Like, they want that shit.
They just want that like.
Yeah, exactly. Or they want
that little comment.
Yeah, they want those comments, but
they
they're not
want
gonna.
that DM, the little heart DM.
Yeah, but they're not gonna go on your shit and like your stuff or send you a DM.
Yeah.
Like, girls don't move that way.
Even people, bro, those are the best people on social media. The ones that'll follow your shit just to unfollow your shit. I think they're the
that's
funniest
what I've
people.
had so much. Is like someone will follow me, and then they'll unfollow me, and I don't know who it is, but like, I can obviously see it, and I'm just like, what's the point? Because my page is private, so I know in order to come at me, like, you have to know something about me. You're not just gonna look up DJ and my fucking picture pops up. It don't work that way. So for you to request me, like my or follow whatever, and then just be gone, to me it's just pointless.
It's kind of weird.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Unless they, I don't know.
Social media, bro, it's all a game. It's all a fucking just a game, bro.
Exactly.
Everybody's just put on a show, just
like
for no one. Right?
Like, for instance, how many followers you got? Like almost 1,500.
Yeah.
And out of those 1,500, how many people you really talk to? Like, really, really talk to?
Bro, I really can't even find somebody to hang out with me. Like, I can't even get somebody to go fucking kick it with me.
That's
bro.
what I'm saying, bro. Like, we chase all these followers, and like, I get it. Like, that's what builds your brand. But it's like, at the end of the day, like, you don't even really be talking to half these people.
Yeah.
Like, I got followers and shit too, and I try to engage. Like, let's talk. Like, you don't have to be hitting on me. I don't have to be hitting on you. Like, you don't have to like me like that. I don't have to like you like that. It's just being cool with people.
Like trying to just like
build
friends, something, bro. Yeah.
Like,
some
you
sort
follow
of
me, I follow you. Like, we might as well, you know what I'm saying, be cool with each other. And I don't feel like it is. You know, you got a lot of people that watch shit.
And that's one thing. Luckily, my collectibles, like selling my collectibles, I've built a pretty good following, and I keep in touch with a lot of those people. But those people are more like just customers that I've gotten really cool with because I don't know, they just continue to go to my shows and continue to go to my auctions.
Like,
and those are people that, bro, like, what's crazy is, like, those are people that I never thought I'd talk to, and the people that I grew up with, or the people that I've been around for years, I don't even talk to, bro.
Yeah.
Most of them don't even, like, speak to me, really. Like, I talk to people that I never even met.
Yeah, but you have, like, that connection and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, they reach out to you, like, people on social media, like, at least for me, like, they don't really be reaching out to me, because they'd be like, oh, he's just a DJ, he wants to do this, he wants to do that, and he probably got all these girls and all these different type of things. I'm like, it's 12 o'clock and I'm here.
I'm just like, I'm doing a podcast.
I'm doing a podcast. Like, I'm a regular ass motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing special.
Yeah. I miss just people just hanging out, you know? Just like the hangout, people just having a good time, just like, I don't know, bro. I don't see no kids outside playing football, or like just like the basics. Yeah. People enjoying people. Like, I think at some point all the social media, everything on the internet, bro, is gonna be a negative for our country as a whole, or just the world as a fucking whole, bro. You know, like, it's making me nervous, honestly.
It's definitely not the same that it was.
Yeah, like, I think people have just almost like have just became almost emotionless to other people. Like they almost like feel nothing.
And that's crazy because I'm the opposite. I feel like emotion towards everybody.
Yeah,
like I've always like that's always been my biggest thing is I care too much and I have too much emotions for people that probably don't give a fuck about me, to be quite honest with you. But that's just how I've always been, even as a kid. You like people.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, it's crazy. And that's like probably one of the craziest things with even being a DJ is people think like, oh, he doesn't like this DJ or he doesn't get along with him or he doesn't support him. And that's not what it is. Like, I support anybody who supports me, like, on some real shit. I don't feel like, if I'm being honest, like, I feel like I'm a good DJ and I know, like, I can get shit going. And I feel like there's a lot of talented DJs out here. It's not just one that's bigger than the other. You know?
Yeah.
Egos obviously come in the way, but for what? You know what I'm saying? There's no point or reason. It's not like nothing. It's nothing that crazy. So it's weird because every time I go out, people are always like, "Oh, you like this DJ, or do you care for him?" And I'm kind of like, I don't even know the person. Like, I don't. How do you expect me to answer this question that I don't even know? You know?
Like, he seems cool. I don't know.
Yeah, bro. Like, you know, that's probably been the biggest thing is like going out now. People are like, you know, oh, do you fuck with him, or do you like him, or how come he's here, or you know, how come you're not here? And to me, it's just like, it is what it is, bro. Like, that's just out of my hands. Like, I respect him for being there. Do I care for him as a human? I don't know him, but as a DJ, I mean, kudos. Whether I fuck with it or not, it's, you know, I just try to show love to everybody, to be honest with you. I don't hate people like that. Bro.
I don't know, man. It's crazy people that still are on that type shit. That be, like, having drama after, like, I don't know, you get to a certain point, bro. And I think it's once you have kids and you get to, like, a certain age or whatever, you just, like, all that drama shit just ain't even really, like, worth it. It's just kind of, like...
It's not, and I can hate on a DJ from, what to say, you know, Village Pub or Moxie or some shit like that, but at some point, like, someone else is going to get a turn in there, so there's no reason to hate somebody over some shit like that, you know?
Exactly.
Like, the biggest one is drink. People, holy fuck, bro. People lately have not been a fan of drink for whatever reason. I know why, I'm just gonna say it, but like people have been not big fans of drink because they don't feel like certain people should be in there, but at some point, you know, it's gonna change. It has to change because it's a business, and if people aren't doing what's gonna benefit the business, it's on to the next.
Yeah.
And that's just, you know, it's life. Everything is a fucking circle. Everything comes and goes. What comes around goes around.
Yeah, exactly. That's true, man. It definitely will go back around, bro. Like, and everything comes back around.
Yeah,
man.
and you're gonna, you know, like I'm gonna talk shit about this DJ, but I'm gonna end up crossing paths with him at some point. And this is, do I want an awkward?
Those have been some of the craziest moments, bro. Is when you think about something and you're like, I'll just do it, I guess, or whatever. You, like, end up doing the extra step, and then it ends up, like, working out like crazy, bro, or, like, you know, I don't know, just dumb shit, bro, like, whatever it is. Like, I applied to sell those, and, bro, I never thought I'd sell those motherfuckers. I applied, and it was during pandemic, and boom, bro, I've sold fucking internet. I've sold almost 4,000 of those motherfuckers. Really? Yeah, bro. I've sold international. I sold to fucking Australia, England.
See, and that's a good example. Is like, you sell this shit. How many other people sell shit with you? Like, there's probably so many people that sell stuff like this.
Yeah.
That to a point, like, that's like me saying, hey, do you hate people who sell shit like this?
I can't. Bro, there's too many. Like, there's plenty, bro.
Hey, you know, John next door sells more than you do. Like,
okay. Yeah, bro, that's the
way I feel.
Same conversation I've had, like, with multiple people is like, bro, there's plenty of room for everybody. There's business everywhere.
Exactly.
You know,
there's enough love to go around.
You'll find your niche, you'll find your group, you'll find your people that fuck with you, and you just gotta just fuck with those people. You know, like, you don't need to, like, try to fit in everybody's circle.
Yeah.
Like, fit in your circle. That's it.
That's the way I am. That's why I say, stay in your own lane. Fuck with people who fuck with you.
How can people reach you, bro? How can they find you?
Instagram, DJ
I think it's DJ underscore Boogs,
That's
but
what
I
I'm
don't
about
know.
to say.
I don't
DJ
remember exactly.
underscore Boogs. Y'all make sure you follow me because low key we got a lot of events coming up, and like I said, man, we just trying to have fun and trying to take over, you know, the desert one place at a time. You know, opportunities are coming for sure. We've been in talks with a lot of people, so we're just waiting for our time. Man.
Yeah.
But for sure, like, shit is gonna start moving.
Well, you guys were already, I don't know how long you were doing it, but you were at Boba's for a while. You were doing that every week, weren't you?
We were doing it like every Friday, for like almost a month. And it was a good experience, bro. Like, that was probably my first start. So to be there and, you know, to DJ with those guys, it was fun, but it was definitely something I had to move on from. And I feel like all of us had to move on from it. And those other two DJs that are there are doing their thing, and they're doing big things too. So, you know, kudos to them. And, you know, like you said, there's enough for everybody to go around. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? I just know where I want to go. I know where I want to get. And drink is on my list.
Oh.
I'm trying to take over drink because if I ever got into drink,
interesting. Yeah,
that shit is
so
sold out. Packed.
Drink, bro. I'm gonna tag him, dude. I'm gonna tag him on the podcast.
Drink.
Let's get him in
Richard,
this.
if you're watching this, I love you, man, and let's get something figured out, bro. For real.
Are you talking to him yet, bro? Or
I talked to him a couple times. I'm not
You're
gonna
trying to.
say
Okay, all right. We're gonna close it out.
That's my guy, but Drink, if you listening, Rich, come on, man.
96.
Stop playing.
Peace out. And shout out to our sponsor, Melon Tree Extracts.